Hey everyone, how are you? Joe here. Welcome back to my channel and my Christmas 2019 series. And for those of you who don't know who I am and just stumbled on me, my name is Joe and I do a lot of seasonal decorating, especially over Christmas. And I guess you could call it slightly over the top decorating. You can see the garland on the mantle behind me is, I guess some people would consider over the top. I consider it normal for me, or what I find appealing and what I like. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to briefly be showing you how I create a slightly over-the-top stair railing garland. And in my foyer where I'm going to be working, I'm calling this Welcome to the North Pole. So there are a lot of silvers and snowflakes and things like that. Now, unfortunately, I didn't do a lot of step-by-step for you. It's kind of haphazardly put together because I do it in weird hours of the night, 2-3 o'clock in the morning and early morning and stuff like that. So I either don't think to video it, or I'm working, thinking too hard to actually to do that. But you'll see it, you'll see how I did it. I'll tell you how I did that. To actually show you the process would be a little bit long. I'm taking a little bit of time. I'm not working as fast as I used to anymore, but I think I'm putting a lot more thought into everything I do. So I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you can get some ideas on how you might want to do your stair railing, or if you have your stair railing done, how you might want to tweak it or add a little bit of adjustment to it. And like always, drop me a comment. I like hearing from you, and you can always friend me on Facebook at Designs by, that's one word, Designs by Joe. And this way you can send me pictures of what you've done, and I can take a look at that. And sometimes when I get around to it, I post some behind the scenes pictures of what I'm doing, or other kind of things like that. All right, everybody, so stay tuned for the video. Bye-bye. All right, so let me bring you up to speed what I've done so far. I'm working on the garland here in the foyer. And remember, this is going to be called Welcome to the North Pole. And what I've done is, first thing I did was I did the garland, and I didn't want to do it in these swags, but it's, it's getting late and my brain is getting fried and I couldn't think of another way to do it. So swags it is again this year. So what I did was use these large snowflakes and I grouped them. That was the next thing. I did the garland, I put the lights, then I did these large snowflakes, and then I added in some of this buffalo snow to make it look like the snow is, where the dip in the garland is. And then what I did was I added in these smaller pieces of garland, which I had flocked with, it's a spray from Home Depot. It's actually used to make like popcorn ceilings and stuff. But it works really good because it doesn't come off the garland. So I just put those in various places. So now I'm going to start enhancing it, and I'll show you that as I do that. All right, so let's take a look at it with the lights off. Anyway, so what I did was, like I said, I put the three in each section. I put 3 big snowflakes. And then what I did was I put the buffalo snow laying in here so that it kind of looks like the snow fell there. Then up where the garland meets each other, I put a couple of these glitzy pine cones here, and then more of these glass snowflakes that have a very, very icy kind of a feel, and then some of these drop icicles as well. You know what's weird? I'm having a hard time finding these icicles this year. They used to be in all the dollar stores and everywhere else. Now they just have them in pink and blue and green and all these other colors, but they don't have them in in clear, at least where I've been looking around. So I mean, I do have a lot of them, but I could always use more of these. So you can see again, I repeated again up there. Now as it gets close to the tree, what happens is I kind of have to thin it out because the tree becomes overwhelming, and then the garland just kind of blends in it. I also had these great picks. They kind of look like a branch, and then they have these tiny little snowflakes on them, iridescent, and it gives it like more texture and a little bit of more design. Then I also have these picks, which are really, really beautiful. Look, they have these crystals on them, and they have the silver leaves and the crystals, and they're really, really, they pick up a lot of light, and they're very effective. Then down on the newel post here, what I did was I had this silver angel. I know it's Welcome to the North Pole, but there are angels everywhere. So there's the silver cherub right there. And then these great branches, I love these kind of things. I wish I could learn how to make this. I always look around for ways to do this, and I really haven't seen anything. They do a lot of Epsom salt, and that's okay, but that kind of melts after a while, so that's not the greatest thing. But, I love these kind of ice-encrusted branches. I think they're really nice. So, again, this is the top of the newel post. And the newel post itself, what I did was I used more of these glittery branches as well with the crystals on them, and then I hung these crystals, these drop crystals, to make them just look like, drops of water that are frozen and so on. So there is the entire newel post, and it's not as like really over the top. Marianne thinks it was over the top anyway, but not as over the top as I would usually make it, because right next to it here I'm going to have 3 silver trees, and I'm going to have a sign that says Welcome to the North Pole. So this area right here is going to be a little bit busy. And then on the opposite side, I did a more simple garland, just with some highlighting of the silver snowflakes and the snow. And then you can see, I'm going to put the lights on for you, but you see the whole thing. It looks very icy. Marianne said she's starting to feel cold already when she walks in here and sees all of this. All right, so let me put the lights on, and then I can show you what that looks like. All right, so I'm going to quickly show you how I worked on these 2 sconces that are also in the foyer. They're across from the stairway. So I put 3M hooks on there, hope they hold, and I added some garland on there. You can see. Now I used nylon wire, and I put some snowflakes on there. It's actually nylon thread. I got that in Walmart as well. Now I added in some branches and crystals and icicles just to give it that icy look, like the other side of the foyer. Remember that Welcome to the North Pole here. So you can see how I did that. And next I added this beautiful angel up there. I put a little can of paint underneath her to make sure she's sturdy and holds up there, and she slides right on top of that. So now I have to do that other one right next to it. I'm going to make it similar. So again, 3M hooks I put up there, piece of garland, and I added Santa this time, a white Santa up here. And I bet by the time this goes down to the end, that whole piece is going to be done. Yep, there it is. The branch with the glitter, the snowflakes, the icicles, the crystals, and so on. So these are the 2 sconces that are, so when you open up the door, you actually see the stairway, and then you see those. So I might add in some of those battery pack lights. I didn't get a chance yet. Okay, so finally finished the stair garland, and it's bright. I have the lights on, but it's bright out. So you can see what I did was, for that final little bit of over-the-topness, I added these beads along the bottom. And, it just doesn't show up great in the video, and it's actually really nice looking. It looks like it would be beautiful for a wedding. I mean, if there was a bride on these stairs taking pictures, a winter wedding, it would be very memorable. A really nice look for that. So you can see even on the newel post here, I added the beads in there, and it might look haphazard, but it's really not. It's very calculated. And again, to get this fullness, you have to calculate it. It's not just like, you just don't keep piling on stuff because it'll look like you just piled things on. There's a method to it. The large snowflakes, then the smaller snowflakes, and then the icicles went in, and then the pine cones went in. Oh, and I forgot I added in these extra pieces of garland just to give some fullness and some whiteness. And then I added the buffalo snow in to make it look like it had been snowed on. And then I added the beads in just to, again, make it a little bit more over the top, like I want it. Over here, I didn't put lights in this one piece because I don't want to see the wire in Mrs. Claus's she shed over there. I don't want to see the wire going over to the plug. So it'll be fine like that. I did the newel post with these great shiny, sparkly leaves and the pine cones and the snowflakes, and I put a beautiful angel right in the dip of this garland as well. And then it's really hard to see here, it's throughout from down here on the video. Again, it's not showing up great, but it's the same pattern over and over and over again. The large snowflakes, the small snowflakes, the pine cones, the snow, and whatnot. Okay, so there you go. That brings us to the end of this video on how I did my stairway garland. And my next video is going to be how I create a dense looking tree with a lot of ornaments, how to create that, or how I create that anyway. All right, everybody, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Today's Friday, and I'm a little bit full here myself. I'm not feeling great because of it, but I'll get through it. And I hope everybody's doing well, and that's about it. So I'll be seeing you really soon. Take care, everybody.